Hello again, and welcome to my random YouTube channel with awesome podcasts and discussions and virtual panels. Today we're going to talk one that all authors, I know I use it a lot, marketing. Probably every author's least favorite activity, but unfortunately the most important one. I've got some pretty awesome people with me today to discuss their marketing tips and ideas that I can learn along with you. So, Karina, why don't you start? Tell us about yourself in 10 words or less, or more.
Okay, well, I'm an author. I'm also a VA, and I am a marketing and promotion manager for TSK Productions.
Awesome. Sarah?
I am a freelancer, publicist, author, artist, jack of all trades.
Awesome. Awesome. You do it all. So you can tell us from all the different angles what works. Megan?
I am an independent author publisher. I am also a stay-at-home mom, so that's really my day job. And I write dark fantasy. My first book's already out, and my second one launches next week.
Ooh, that's exciting. So seeing as you've been in full-on marketing mode, let's hear your first tip on what have you done to make this book launch awesome.
So for this book launch, because it's my second book, I'm actually making book one free and tying it into linking it directly to book two in the back matter of the book. So hopefully you get your readers to download the first book free, finish it, ideally, love it, ideally, review it, yay, and then buy book two. So.
That's awesome. Now let me ask you this. I did exactly the same thing for my recent book launch last month. Did you set your book for free are you setting it for free on the day of your book launch or like a week in advance?
I am doing it, so I'm doing a soft launch for book two. So I'll actually upload it this weekend rather. And then I have some advanced reviewers coming on, so they'll get their reviews in. And then book one goes free on the official launch day. So I'm doing that for, it'll be the 5 days free on KDP Select. So on that same launch day, yes. And I debated that a little bit, but I ultimately chose to do it at the same time because from running free promotions in the past, I know that I do get a lot of people who download it and read it immediately, and I wanted them to be able to immediately buy book two if they finished it same day. So.
Interesting. Karina, Sarah, yes, no, same day in advance. What do you think on this one?
Advance sounds great. You get people interested in the book, and then they get a little bit of... they're waiting for the next one and they jump in and grab it. So
you'd say a few days in advance or a week in advance?
A week in advance.
I would do some promotion to say about the new book coming out, and also that the first book is going to be free. Get everyone excited about that, and then when you go out and say, this is the link, this is free, download it now, then everyone already knows about the book and is really eager to get it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. That's cool. Yeah, I did mine on the same day. I did a weekend launch, 3-day launch, and I had my book one free all 3 days. And I got, I think, 2,500 downloads over the weekend, which was good. And I think it helped with the sales of the book too. But I think I'll try Sarah's idea next time, make book one free, maybe a week in advance, and then maybe even make book two free on the weekend of book three launch and see if that helps things. Sarah, hit us with your awesome idea.
Get involved. There are all sorts of forums, writers groups that you can get involved in, and as you get involved, people like you and they're going to help you promote your stuff. If you get involved in professional organizations such as the Horror Writers, SIFWA, even romance, they have tools that you can use to promote your stuff.
Interesting. Either of you two have anything to add or say on that one?
Yeah, I mean, I think networking is is essential, and finding authors who enjoy your work, whether or not they write in the same genre, better if they do, but whether or not they do, if they love your work, they are more willing to help you out. I think, especially within the independent publishing sphere, authors tend to be very helpful and very supportive, and want to go out of their way to help you market your book and give you that push. So yeah,
I've definitely noticed that a lot of self-published or even independent small publishing authors, they've struggled so much with it, and they've gotten so much help from other people that they're happy just to pass it on, and it makes everything so much easier. All right, Karina.
Okay, my first tip is don't give anything away for free, and I'm actually referring to all the author events. Make them work for it. So you could say, like, sign up for my newsletter and I'll give you a free gift. That's going to make them sign up for the newsletter. But the free gift doesn't have to be expensive. It doesn't have to be something you ship to their address. It could be a short story or even an excerpt of your new book, something that no one else is going to have except these people that are signing up to your newsletter. So don't give anything away for free. I mean, you could have subscribed to my website and I will enter you in for a free prize draw. Again, you'll have all these people subscribing, which is good for you, and you'll pick one person and they'll get whatever you want to give them. So that's my personal tip. I mean, that's why I tell my clients, and I do it myself. If you're going to give something away, then make them work for it. Get something back in return.
I like it. And actually, yeah, on my website, I'm giving away a free novel, and someone told me, oh, why are you giving away a novel? You know, give away a short story or something shorter. And I just decided that novel, because it's not part of the series that I'm currently working on and promoting. So it's something that I have written and published, and it's just something to give away. But I know a lot of people give away short stories or excerpts, and I think everybody just loves free stuff, and they're willing to sign up or like or share or something like that.
Yeah, that's especially what they're doing on events now. They are going there to get as much free Amazon gift cards, free books, free mysteries. Sign up for the newsletter, follow my website, and you'll get this. And everyone is doing that because they all want something for nothing. So why not for you to get something back out of that?
That's awesome. All right, Megan, second best marketing tip.
Well, when you are running a discount, whether a 99-cent or free days discount, book those email newsletter promotions. Sites like Free Booksy, BookBug, if you can get it, obviously, but that's so rare, who knows. But Free Booksy or Bargain Booksy, Choosy Bookworm, a lot of these sites, there are a ton of them all over the web. You can find specific for your genre. Usually for a moderate fee you pay, they blast out your book to their newsletter subscribers, and that's how I've gotten the most pickup of my free books when they're on sale. They're free.
Yeah. Do you ladies, Sarah, Karina, do you have any other ones that you would highly recommend?
I think if you go over to Awesome Gang, they have actually a full list of paid and free websites and web pages that will list your book for free in their newsletters, and then another list for ones that you are going to pay for, but of course you're going to have a bigger turnaround from them. But yeah, Awesome Gang, they have their own full database of addresses.
That's awesome. I'll find that link and post it in the newsletter, the video comments below. Awesome. Sarah, your next marketing tip for us.
Well, promote yourself. I'm on Twitter quite a bit, and there are all sorts of people who all their Twitter feed is buy my book, buy my book, buy my book. That will get you turned off of my feed faster than anything. Promote other people. Tell us what you're doing. Have some fun, and people are going to like you as a person rather than buy my book.
I think that's one thing that a lot of authors and even just marketers and people who use the internet, especially Twitter for marketing, a lot of what they're sharing is just product this, product that, and it's really hard to cut through the noise. I actually don't look at Twitter at all, just because my entire feed is these promo things. So I would definitely say it's much more important to get people to like you, what you have to say, what you think, all of that. And then they'll be a little bit more interested in click on this link to see my website or my book or something. What do you think, Megan and Karina?
I hate Twitter.
Me too.
I just hate it.
Well, it counts for Facebook too.
So the more I think you could make it interesting and not so much just buy my book, the better. But I try to avoid Twitter.
With Twitter, Twitter started out as another social media. You were supposed to connect with people. You were supposed to chat with people. I have put daily posts up asking questions and just nothing to do with about books, just to get people to start talking to me. How many people replied? Everyone retweeted my tweet asking a question and no one replied. And that is so sad because that's not what Twitter was all about.
I think there's maybe a way to use that because a lot of people, you may not get a lot of responses, but you will get a lot of retweets and stuff. So what I've started doing on my Twitter account is just sharing links to resources that I found with the hashtag author resources, and posts on story construction or marketing or just things that I've found have helped me that have piqued my interest. And I get a lot of, or not a lot, but I get some retweets and shares and likes on that. And so even if the people who are in my immediate Twitter circle aren't replying to what I have to say, my resources are being passed on, and at least I'm getting other people to see valuable resources. And then of course my Twitter handle is associated with that, and who knows, hopefully one day that'll bring some value via Twitter.
The thing I think you have to be careful with, and I think this is true across all social media, is making sure though that you're finding readers and not just other authors. Because while the network is extremely important, you also want to try to find the readers who perhaps aren't authors. And personally, that's where I've struggled on, especially on Twitter, but other sites as well, because I find it's so much easier to share the things that I find interesting in my writing, which is great, but most of my readers don't really care about that. So you have to set your goals, and you're finding those niche things that your readers are going to be interested in as well. And mixing it up. If you have a really strong author audience, don't lose that by any means, but make sure you're mixing in things. Like I know you write dark fantasy too. So, making sure you mix in maybe some articles on mythology or things like that to try and, find those niche interests that your readers will really find interesting.
I like it. That's a great tip. That's going to be your number 3.
All right.
All right. I think, Karina, we skipped you, so you're up.
Okay, my next tip is don't put all your eggs into one basket. For instance, don't just sell your book on Amazon. Sell it everywhere. Lulu, Smashwords, Barnes & Noble. There's, what's the other one? Is it Tor? One of the big 5 is doing ebooks as well now. Independent authors. So there are so many places that you can upload and sell your book, and it doesn't necessarily have to be just Amazon. Don't let the Zon become the king, that's what we've done, and we're paying for that now, basically. We've given them the power, and we have to take that back now. So yeah, sell everywhere, not just one place. And the same with social media. Don't just work on Facebook and Twitter. work on everywhere. Go work from Pinterest, work from Instagram, work from Uplike, work from Stumble Upon. There are just hundreds of different social media platforms that a lot of authors have never actually heard of. Okay, it means starting from scratch and building up your audience and building up followers like you've done with Twitter and Facebook. But isn't it better to spread yourself out so you have a different group of readers and a different group of authors that you're going to meet through these different social media platforms?
Interesting. Any agreements or contrary opinions, ladies?
I'm going to disagree.
Yes.
Sorry.
Go for it.
To an extent. I actually, when it comes to your distribution, theoretically, I agree with you about selling wide and not just selling with Amazon. Unfortunately, I found from personal experience with only one book and one short story, KDP Select, which is the exclusive with Amazon so that you can get into Kindle Unlimited, was the only way I made money. Until I would tried to go wide for over a year, and I never got traction on the other sites. Now, what I am theoretically hoping to do is that once I have a backlist of 3 to 5 books, then going wide, because then you can market more easily on those other sites. Like I was making less than $50 a month when I was wide. I'm now making significantly more than that, depending on what promotions and things I'm running. But so from my experience, if you're a new author with a limited backlist, consider trying KDP Select at least for 1 or 2 terms until you can build that backlist. At that point, I think going wide makes more sense. So like I said, theoretically, I hate having only sales on Amazon. It drives me insane. Like I cringe every time I realize that I'm doing that. But from a business perspective, it's with a limited backlist, it's the only way I've made money. And then as far as the social media stuff goes, definitely you want to find your audience, but you also need to do it in a way that makes you happy and keeps you interested. So don't spread yourself too thin. Try some of the new sites, see if you like them. Try and test things out, but make sure you're happy doing it. Otherwise, you're just going to suck. Sorry.
Well said.
I can't say whether, as to the distribution, but as to the social media, definitely do try to spread out. There are programs such as Hootsuite, which can help you do this. You can upload different promotions onto it and schedule it ahead of time so that you're not on social media all the time. Definitely make sure that there is a cascade on your social media. Say you post something on your blog, make it go to Facebook, make it go to Twitter. There's things that you can automate. You don't have to be on social media all the time in order to promote. So
I guess we could even use that to segue into your next tip, is use those tools, right?
Yes. Hootsuite, Hootsuite is the one I use the most. Okay.
I use Hootsuite as well, and for the free version, it's just 3 social media postings, and then you pay for it, and then you have access to more. Would you recommend using the paid version or the free version?
If you're only running yours, then, and if you don't find that you're using other social media a lot, then go with the free one. But if you use everything all the time, then yes, it's definitely a good investment.
Nice. Very good. Well, hit us with another awesome marketing tip, Sarah.
Create a fan group. You guys have already said that you guys have newsletters. Invite those people who are on your newsletter into a private fan group, which is going to connect your readers directly to you and give them extra Add extra stuff. Give them little tidbits of news before anybody else gets it. Give them a special short story. And then they're excited to say, oh, such and such author has a new book coming out.
I like it. Now, do these actually work? I know some authors have fans and readers who are just like all the time, 24 hours a day. And then some of us have readers and fans who are much less active, let's say. So how do we encourage these fans to engage more?
It's something you have to grow. Yes, it's going to start small and it's going to seem like you aren't making any progress. But as you get a backlog and as you get more fans, then it usually pays off. But you're going to have to put work into it.
Like with everything else.
Like with everything else. So, yeah, an extra message once a week, an update, that usually helps bring it all together.
I love it. Very good. All right, Karina, hit us with another one.
For ebooks, make sure you link your social media addresses in the back of the book, if it's an ebook. Also, with your email signature, have your social media pages listed on your email signature. So every time you send an email, people will know where to find you and where to find your book. And mention in the back of your book, whether it's an ebook or a paperback, that to please leave a review, because I don't think readers actually understand how important it is for us authors to have a review. And they read a book and they've liked it and they're really happy they liked it, but they have to be reminded that we really need those reviews. So I think saying, thank you so much for reading my book, please can you leave a review in the back of the ebook or paperback is a good thing. And that's it. Just links, mentions of your other books, and about reviews in ebook or paperback in the back of your novel.
Nice, I like it. And that was 2 awesome marketing tips. Well done. Megan, you're up again.
So I think one of the number one things you can do is really focus on building that email list and keeping those fans engaged. So building the list, I think, giving away something free. I give away a free short story to subscribers. But even advertising that freebie for signing up, making sure that you have the links in the back of your book, but really everything that you do should be trying to build that list, because that's the best way you have to reach your readers, your fans. Because as I think probably everyone should be aware at this point, Facebook and the other social sites, you're not going to reach 100% of that group of fans with every post unless you pay for it, and even then you're still probably not going to reach 100%. Whereas with a strong email newsletter, you have access to those people with their permission. You know that they're fans. You know that they, in theory, that they like your work if they're staying subscribed. So those are the people that you want to be able to reach at any time.
Now comes a question that I'm sure every single author and person who uses email lists is thinking: what do I send? What sort of content would you recommend people send out to their email newsletter list? This is an open question for anyone.
So for me, and this just works for me, so everybody has to, I think, approach it their own way. I send out a once a month newsletter at the end of every month, with kind of a recap of what's happened over the course of that month. So, if I finished the draft of the next book, I would announce that and kind of talk about what I've been working on. I also share a short excerpt from my work in progress. And I actually do give away a free print book to people one random subscriber each month from my newsletter list. And I have really high open rates and very, very, very low unsubscribe rates.
That's awesome. I think I'm going to go sign up for your list now. Sarah, what would you say is a good idea?
Well, since I promote for several small press, it's a bit different than an individual author.
Okay.
So on one, it's a small press, so we only have a handful of authors. I go to their blogs, their news feeds, and I pull off something great that they've done that month. Whether they released a new short story or they've got another book elsewhere. I pull that off and put it into the Apocalypse Inc. Newsletter. And then for another newsletter, I go through the blog, the news feed, and just pull off everything. Everything, and that's for one particular author. It depends on, in my case, who I'm promoting, what the news is for that month.
Nice.
Karina, what do you send with your email newsletter?
I think, you just got to keep it fresh every month. You've got to not repeat yourself and give them new things to get excited about. And I want to learn. Keep, like Megan says, keep your readers up to date with what you're working on and what's coming up in the future. Always give something away for free. That always works.
Every month?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, every month. But you see, Megan's not giving away 10 copies every month. She's giving away 1 copy to one random person. But because of that, she's going to have people subscribing and staying with the newsletter, hoping they're going to get that one book.
Nice. I like it. Very good. All right. We currently have 13 tips. Let's see if we can get to 15 awesome tips. Heck, if we can make it to 20, I'll be happy. Sarah, you're up.
Promo materials. Make sure you have your business cards and stuff with you at all times. If someone asks you, what do? You have a business card to give them, or some sort of promotional, a bookmark, something, so to remind them to go look at your stuff.
I like that. Yesterday, actually, fun fact, I was getting a tattoo, and my wife is reading the latest book in my series, and she had it with her, and someone just sitting there waiting in the tattoo parlor. I was like, oh, that's really interesting. Can I take a look? And he bought a copy of both book 1 and 2 for his wife, who loves reading. Just like super random. So I know a lot of authors will tell you just always have a copy of your book on hand. That might be a good addendum to your tip, Sarah. All right, Karina.
Promotion-wise, instead of just keep on posting the same ads all over Facebook, why not do a head talker? You don't have to have or a thunderclap. You don't have to have a new book out or a cover reveal to do one. You can just be advertising your book. People that don't know what a head talker and a thunderclap is, it's like a media bomb. You decide how many supporters you want before this bomb goes off. If you get that number or above, that media bomb, which is going to be an advert, will go off on whichever social media platform that they've supported on. That could be Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr. So you decide on the date that you want this bomb to go off. You decide on the number of supporters that you're looking for. And if you make that number, then that bomb goes off. You could have as less as like 25 supporters, but have 1 million people possible reach of getting and seeing that ad. So head talker and Thunderclap are absolutely amazing for promotion and getting word out.
Now you said even if you don't have something new, let's say I don't have any new book coming out for the next 6 months, but I wanted to do a head talker campaign in 3 months. What would I do?
You have to imagine that you're trying to get people that have never heard about your book. So you need to tease them into wanting to go out and buy your book. They've never heard of you. They've never heard of your book. But now's the chance to sell yourself and your book.
Interesting. So basically just give them something to make a head talker campaign that would make people want to find out more about me or my book. It doesn't matter whether there's something new or special, just use that resource.
Exactly. You don't have to use them just for new releases or cover reveals or my book is on sale for $99. Any author can use them anytime and they work.
Nice. Sarah, let's throw it back to you for another quick one.
Always plan ahead. Before your book is ready for launch, make sure that you have a plan. Make sure you're contacting your reviewers. Do the thunderclap. Plan it out ahead.
Very, very good piece of advice. For the launch of my book one, I started like 6 months in advance, which is how I managed to get about 50 reviews before the end of the first month, just people who had agreed to help out. So it really helps you avoid that last minute stress of, oh my God, I've got a week and I've got 150 author interviews and guest posts and random posts and all of it. Like there's so much to do. So if you do everything, even I would say start preparing 3 months before your book launch to be safe. All right, Megan, you're up.
All right. Well, shoot now. I think my last tip, if you do have a new release or launch coming out, one thing that I am putting together myself, so we'll see how it actually works out, but is our image teasers. So finding cover images or other stock photography and then putting quotes on it and posting that out to Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, et cetera, but quotes from your book. And then on that, making sure that you have the link to your website. And in my case, the launch date of my new book that's coming out. So it says on the bottom corner, standard on every single one of the images. They're all sort of similarly branded, but on the bottom corner, it says Senora the Heir Apparent, launching September 21st, www.meganhaskell.com. Go here. This is where it's happening. And then hopefully they get excited about those quotes and share them, and that spreads the word more widely.
That sounds like an awesome idea. All right, Karina, for our final tip, make it a really good one. No pressure.
Oh my gosh, I've got loads. Pick a number. Okay, I'm splitting this up in 2 quick ones. Go to hashtag.org. You can then look for hashtags that your readers that are reading books similar to yours are using. That way you can then use the same hashtag and they are going to see all of your Twitter posts because that's what they're into. Does that make sense? Okay.
That sounds awesome.
Okay, then on your social media, on your Facebook, you get a review. Okay, sometimes we thank people. Hello, you there?
Yeah.
So I've lost you. I think my computer's overheating. Can you see?
Yeah, we can see and hear you. And we've lost her. Okay, well, I guess that's it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Sarah, Megan, and Karina, if she shows up, thank you so much for joining in and sharing your awesome tips with us.
Not a problem. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
All right, so go out there and be smart about your marketing.